So I will be taking you through the very friendly, very basic Houdini interface store. And this video will be very basic, very beginner friendly. You will understand everything I will teach you in this video. And it's for the very first beginner. If you just open Houdini and you are struck, like you are thinking, what is this? What are all these steps do? No need to worry. We don't need to have to know about everything and every tab and every window out there. We just need few things at the very starting, and let's get started. So first of all, you see there are so many, so many windows out there. Like this first is the node editor. Like whatever we create, we'll create in nodes. Houdini is a software that works on node, and everything you would do in this software will be based on nodes. So this is our node editor. This is our parameters window. Parameters is like the properties of each node you will create in Houdini. And this is our tools window. You can create different objects here. You can do you have different tools out there. You can create fonts and spray paint and draw, everything you can do. You can create different types of effects. Like in this tab, we don't need these right now, so it's a bit complicated if you go into all these, so we don't need to focus in this part. And here we have our view panel. Whatever you will create, you will see it here. This is our view panel. You can change the views. We'll get to this later. For this video, I will first take you through with the basic tools, like basic tools you can use in the viewport. If you create an object, there are two ways you can create an object. First, you can directly create it here with the nodes, or you can go there. But I said we don't need to go through all these, but let's just create a box. I don't know why Houdini call this a box. It's a sphere. It's a cube, and which is fine. It's a cube. We can understand. We can let this a cube or a box, or you can rename this as you want. So like this is a cube we just created, and here you see there is a node, and it says geometry, which is this cube. And in this geometry, this is a node we just created, and it's a very basic node, and which says it's just a geometry box and object. We'll get into this later. So what we can do right now, we have different tools here. We can manipulate our object by these. So I will take you through with each of these. We don't need these right now. There's this we need this and that, but these we don't need to. This I will tell you about the camera and stuff. First we have this select tool. What this do is it's just select different objects. Let's create another object, which is a sphere, right? So let's just select this tool, select, and by this you can just select your different objects in the viewport. We cannot manipulate this, like we cannot translate, scale, or rotate, but we can just select this. For translate, we have different tools like this move. What this will do, this will just move your object. You can move it in Z direction, X and Y. Y is this. You can see this direction is Y, this is X, and this is Z. You can see it over there. It's X, Y, and Z. You can move your object by this tool. Shortcut is D. Now we have R, which is rotate. You can rotate your object with this, and here we have scale, and it's the shortcut key is, I guess, shortcut key is E, right? And what I need to do now is, we have all these tools like done. We need this, which is secure selection. When you toggle this on, you can only select one object. You cannot just randomly select another object. If I turn this off, like it's now like the lock is, you can see it's not locked, which means you can select by, if let's say this like this, when you are in one of these tools, move, rotate, and like scale, you can just select the different object, and like it applies to these, like to this also. Like if you are rotating this object and you want to rotate this, you can just click on this and like rotate this also. But when secure selection is on, you can select this, but you cannot select this. You have to go to your select tool and select this, and then go to your scale, rotate, and move tool. Okay, and now let's jump into this. This is like a global kind of transform handle. What you can do is you can scale, rotate, and translate into different axes with this just one tool. With this tool, yes. And we have all these tool covers like covered. This is global transform handle. This one you can transform, translate, and scale, rotate. Like these, all these tools, these are in this single tool, so you don't need to go through each. You can just do this. And what we have here is pan. Let's see. You have this camera. This is like kind of a view tool. You are viewing the scene by this tool. You cannot do like translate, rotate. All these tools don't apply here. What you are doing here is just you're viewing your scene. You can do anything. You can do things you want to do by the notes, but in the viewport you are just viewing the scene. That's it. It's R for view. And to view this, we have three basic keys, and it's all with your mouse. First, we have pan, which is clicking the middle mouse, holding the middle mouse. You can pan around. And we have like your right mouse button. What you can do is zoom in and zoom out with this. And you have left, which is used to rotate your scene. These three keys work in the view panel, but it doesn't work when you selecting your objects. You will see when you are in the selection tab, like when you have the tool selected, and you cannot just use your mouse middle, right, and left to rotate, pan, and zoom in and zoom out. This is just Houdini. So what we need to do, we need to toggle this, and for toggling this, there's a key like Alt. When you hold Alt, you see it is toggled now. Now you can rotate, pan, and zoom in and zoom out with your mouse, but by holding Alt when you are in this select tool. When you are in the select tool, you can toggle on your view tool, like by just holding your Alt key. Now when I unhold the key, when I just let Alt key go, then what happens here is, see, we are in the select tool and your secure selection is turned on. This is just a minimal like thing, but it's very friendly, it's very useful. And when we are in the view panel, we have this is our first person navigation. What you can do, we all play games, right? So as we move in games like the from WASD side, left, front and back, we can do it here also. Like it's just a game now, and you can increase or decrease the movement speed by scrolling up, scrolling down. You can increase or decrease your speed, which is really handy if you are working with a big scene or stuff like that. It's just your first person navigation. Or you can increase your speed by here, like movement speed. You can increase or decrease as you like. We have also here look around with your mouse. You can use your mouse to look around. You just click your mouse and now you are like moving your mouse, and your viewport is also moving. So I don't like this. You don't need to have to, but it's your choice, your software, and your thing. That's it. And we are out of the first person navigation. Now when these tools are covered, we can go with this and this. First, let's just delete these. You can just delete these by pressing delete. And what I want to do this, I want to hide this shell. What I can do this, toggle this hide shell dock, and you can just click on this and you can see all the tools again. Like oops, these. I don't want to see these. I don't also want to see the animation playback. Just hide this. You can unhide it if you want, but I don't like it. So actually I'm not working on it, so I don't want to do it. And we have two options, our paravendor window and our node editor. What I can do is I can just create something like here, press tab and create a sphere, right? And you can just left mouse click and your sphere is here. And you would notice one thing: when you create objects from here, you need to place them uh, by yourself, right? Like if you click here, your object will be created here, and you can just and when you don't need to do that if you create an object from your directly from your node. Like I created a sphere from the node. I will just do it again. Tab and hit sphere, right, left mouse button, and you see your sphere is created at the very center of your grid, which is what I need right now. And let's create another object, which is a box, and hit box. You see they are like the sphere is inside the box. We can just translate the box like by these tools or by this translate option. Now we have a really good thing here, which is now we have a really good thing here, which is incremental window. What I mean by incremental window, first I tell you one thing, that every node has its properties which are called parameters. We can see all these properties right here, and every node has its parameters. So let's start with translate. Now what I was talking about, incremental window. What I would do here is if you want to translate your object in the x-axis, that means you need to write this is x, this is y, and this is z. What you can do is you can type like I want to translate this on x-axis by 1 unit. Now it's translated, right? But I want to translate this by increments. Like Houdini has this cool feature. When you hold middle mouse button, you see this window pop up, this tool pop up, and we have these increments. So if I want to increase this cube, like if I want to translate this cube on x-axis by 1 unit, one incremental unit, then I would go to the X axis bar, and I would just like hold um, middle mouse button and I would see this pop up. And if I drag my mouse to the one to the one value, one unit, then this cube would move to the x-axis by every 1 unit incremental value. Like, just drag this. Now I am moving this by exactly 1 unit each time when I drag my mouse. If I want to move this by point 1, you can go to point 1 and you can just like move it. You can drag your mouse and it's moving, right? And if 10 is really huge, point 1, point 0.01, like it's up to you, but it's a really cool feature. You can do the same as scale and rotate also, right? Okay, now let's just okay, now let's talk about your personal viewport, like your personal user interface. We have this covered, right? This is just parameters window, and this is our node editor. Now I want to hide this parameter window because it takes a lot of screen, and I can do by hitting this small triangular icon. You can undo it if you want, but I like to have it hidden. And what I can do, I have this geometry node, which is sphere. I can click on it and hit P on your keyboard, P. What you would see here is a parameter window, which is really good. If I want to hide this parameter window, I can press again. I can hit P again, which is really good. If I want to see the parameters of this node, I can click on this node and hit P. I would see the parameter window again. And if you want this, like this interface as your default interface, you can do it also. You can save this interface as you want. What you have to do is like go to this menu bar. Here, go this icon, and you have all these features. These are all your default viewports you can choose from. I would say just save current desktop. If you hit save current desktop, it will save it over on the build. We have build right now. We have selected build, and we have made some changes on it. And I want to like save these changes as my default interface. So what you can do is save your current desktop as, I have this exact desktop as learn build, like this. I have saved it. You can hit save current desktop as and learn build. And but if you want to have this as a default when you open Houdini every time you see this interface, you can do it by go to edit, preference, general user interface, and here start up in desktop. I have chose this learn build, which is I usually work with, which is really good, and you can hit accept. So for this video, everything is covered now, and we don't need to worry about anything else. And it's all about the user interface, and I will see you in the next video.